I'm still waiting for this thing to start. Yeah, go ahead. No. And I'll explain the distinction between the two. You should use both at the same time. Right? But the thing is, how would you use both? If you're just using ChatGPT, let's say chat or cloud, it doesn't give you a place to enter two different prompts. All it gives you is barely enough place. So what you do is you write it in a text, system prompt, user prompt. Put the user prompt below the system prompt to make one long text and paste it here. Right? Otherwise, use the playground, like the playground that I mentioned. Where is the playground gone? I think it disappeared. I'll go through that. Playground OpenAI. Playground. Use this because do you notice that there is a place to enter the system instructions and the user message? Two separate areas. Yeah, I will explain that. That's what so our topic today is just that we are doing. So let me cover that. See, guys, what happens is we will talk about prompts. Sorry, let me disable this. It's getting into our way. All right. So first thing to know is that there is such a thing as a system prompt and there is such a thing as a user prompt. And here is one way to think about it. If you think of what ChatGPT is, ultimately what is there? There's a LLM there, right? For or whatever it is. It's a LLM. What you typically do is that when a user enters a prompt, user prompt is what you expect user to enter. What you do is you don't let it go to the LLM directly. You first have a hidden system prompt. And in the system prompt, at the very bottom, you have a placeholder for a user prompt. It's a template, it's a, right. So system prompt will say many things. And then whatever the user enters goes here. Are we together? So for example, it's one of the things like when GPT, initially it was 3.5 that was being used for Chat GPT. So people wondered, there's a lot of, you can't ask it, for example, how do you make a bomb? And the machine will say, no, get lost, right? I don't answer such questions, right? Or this is, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned to you, these are, it's rather depressing that these are the most common queries that Google receives in its search. Oh, right. How do I kill my wife? How do I kill my husband? Right? How do I get rid of my boss? Right? Or things like that. It says it's a sad commentary on human nature, but it's still a fact. People feel that what the queries they are doing in the privacy of their homes, nobody can see, unfortunately. Actually, everybody can see them. Right? And but it's a sad commentary on human nature. That
one kid got arrested. He was about to board a flight from European one of the country to London. He's an Indian kid residing in London. So he was chatting with his friends and something, and he posted, "I am boarding the flight. I am going to bomb it," like that. Something he did. Once he got down, he got arrested. They monitored it. He gave the flight number.
Oh my God. Like, very helpful.
He gave the flight number, everything.
So yeah, so that's that. So what happens is that system prompt is a good place to put guardrails, right? And the rules of engagement. So one of the things so here's a history of how these things go. System prompt, right? One way to think about it is that the system prompt, this part, controls the behavior of how the LLM will respond to the user prompt. Right? Now, let me illustrate that with the point. Go back and look at our PDF. What did I give as a system prompt? If you go back, you realize that I started out with a system prompt. And it is the system prompt that I did most carefully. You see how long the system prompt is? Right? First, and this is the technique I'll teach you, remember system prompt creates the context, makes the LLM wear a hat, become a person in some sense. Am I making sense? And that affects the behavior. Because now look at the user prompt. If I don't know if this PDF lets me highlight, I'll see. Does anyone knows if PDFs can be highlighted? There must be highlighting in Acrobat. There must be some.
Yes, there is annotation.
There is annotation. Where is it? Okay, I don't know. It's not letting me do with my pen. If anybody knows an easy way, please do enlighten me. What is this? Show two-sided actual zoom.
On the top, edit.
Oh, here. Yeah. Highlight.
So, Asif,
Yeah.
this whole thing about system prompt and user prompt, how does
Yeah.
it correlate to if you're using like Amazon's Bedrock and underlying foundational AI models?
The answer to that is in all of them, it's applicable. You have to look at the API. There'll always be a prompt. And so when we go to the programmatic, so how about this? That is where we are heading towards in the next hour. So hold on to that question. And if I forget to answer it, then remind me.
Sure, will do. Thanks.
Actually, the way you've written it there, the prompt, system prompt.
Yeah.
Can you format it that way?
Oh, yes, of course. It's a text thing. You're right. The more cleanly and nicely you write it, the better the machine will understand. Easily. Right. So guys, look at this. The user prompt just says, if you look at how brief it is, in the attached file, there is data in a tab separated blah and its eruptions. Perform a detailed exploratory analysis and visualization. You realize that it was as more or less as brief as what you guys asked in your couple of lines. Right. But what made the difference between the output you got and the output I got? The system prompt. So system prompt modulates or governs the behavior of the LLM, isn't it? Because in the system prompt, we started out with this statement. Yeah. I don't know if I can change the color. Right away. You are an expert data scientist. Well, it rolls up its sleeves and say, okay, let me remember what is a data scientist and how do they talk? And what do they do? So this is, okay, sorry, I don't know, my highlighting with this is really very bad. But okay, you get the idea, I suppose. And God knows what I have done. I've done something. Okay. There we go. So that matters, system prompt. Now you guys realize the difference between system prompt and user prompt? System prompt is the hidden thing that theoretically the user doesn't see. Right? But that controls how the LLM will engage with you. Because the user prompt is what you expect to be very naive, very brief. Isn't it?
Even in the user prompt, is it any different?
It's the same thing. See, what happens is that if all you have is a license to use ChatGPT, there is no place you can add system prompt. So what they do is, then what you do. So in other words, if you can't give a system prompt, what can you do? In the simple prompt window, first put the system prompt, then put the user prompt. Does this make sense, guys? Just put it as running text. That's all. Right? That is all. And so, see, today, so here's a little bit of practical thing. OpenAI announced that they're going to have a lot of GPT applications or GPT, what do they call it? Apps or tools or something like that. GPT tools. There's a whole ecosystem. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen that ecosystem? There is something that will explain the research paper to you. There's something that will do this. There's something that will do that. Let's go back to it and check it out. There is somewhere an ecosystem of applications that you can attach to. Yeah, look at the, oh, I used to have temporary chat model, GPT-4 legacy. Oh, they have removed it nowadays. Where is that?
I think they have discontinued that, Asif.
Oh, they have discontinued that.
I believe so. I'm checking on.
You still can see it. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Oh, my GPTs. Do you see my GPTs? Right. Well, create a GPT. So here is it. When they say create a GPT, what are they saying? Exactly. They are saying create your own system prompt, because a system prompt, a good system prompt, changes the behavior of the, and you can give it a name, for example. Does this make sense, guys? Right. So here, I don't know, capabilities, you can add many things to it. So that's what it is. And what people did, there was an ecosystem of lots of people just writing good system prompts. And they were actually making money from it, isn't it? Madhu, if I'm right, they started monetizing it.
Yeah.
And many people, what they did is, because you can call ChatGPT of GPT 4.0 and all of these OpenAI models using Python code, they created their own chat interfaces. Most of that chat interface was just a system prompt and calling this either Cloud or GPT-4 or Gemini or whatnot. And therefore, that brings me to your very simple project for today. I want you to take a favorite topic, right? So let us say that you are the guru of Tirukurals, right? Or of Kabir's poetry, or of Hafiz. Who knows what Tirukural is? You know that, right? Quote me something from it.
To start with, our first one is like Agara Mudara Ezhuthellam Adi Bhavan Mudathre Ulagu. That means all the alphabets starts from a Tamil word A, and it is like quoting the God.
Okay, nice. So Tirukural, let's see if somebody remembers Kabir. Who can quote me Kabir? Kal kare so aaj kar. Okay, so that, by the way, is very appropriate for all of you. Let me say that. Kal kari so aaj kare so ab, pal mein padle hogi, bahuri karega kab. Who's going to quote me either Rumi or Hafiz? I'm looking at you. Abdul Rahman. You don't know what that is. That's the American born kid. Okay. All right. So, anyway, pick something. Or Ghalib. Who knows who Ghalib is? Mirza Ghalib. Who can quote me Ghalib? Guys. Okay. Any favorite? Who can quote me Shakespeare? Like, did I say at the beginning of this class, engineers are very bad with languages? All right. Okay. No enthusiast for literature and poetry here in this room, it seems. Okay.
I know a bit about Ghalib, but I don't know whether it's right fit or not, sir.
Go ahead, Mrinal. You should know Ghalib. Quote me something.
So I don't know, it is from Ghalib or something, but it is like अच्छा तुम्हारे शहर का दस्तूर हो गया, जिसको गले लगाया वही दूर हो गया, ये
It is
नया
Ghalib.
शहर है जरा फासले से मिला, something like that, but I don't remember exactly, something around that.
Good. What? Yes, that's a famous one. I don't know if your microphone was on, but that's a beautiful one, actually. It's a very romantic one. Would you like to repeat it?
Famous for people who know Hindi movies. It's इश्क ने गालिब निकम्मा कर दिया नहीं तो इंसान हम काम के थे something like that.
हम भी इंसान काम के थे.
Yeah.
जन्नत की हकीकत तो मालूम है गालिब, दिल बहलाने को लेकिन ये ख्याल भी अच्छा है. Has anybody heard of that? Girish, you have. What does it mean? Okay, I'll let you think about this. Okay, guys, so that's that. So you know what you should do? I'll give you this assignment. Pick your favorite poet. Or if you don't like poets and you are heavily into politics, create your system prompt that will imitate your favorite politician, whatever it is. Like, I don't know, Trump, Kamala, they seem to be the favorites of today because of the presidential election, or Biden, or anything, right? Here's your job. You need to create a system prompt such that every response looks as though it's coming either from that politician, that poet, that scientist, that whatever personality it is. Right? But make sure that you have guardrails and it is always polite and never obnoxious. Or whatever.
It has to be a written prompt which is coming, or it's audio?
System prompt. Write a system prompt, and then
Okay.
your application is create a chat application. Right? You can use Streamlit or Chainlit. There is something called Chainlit, which helps you create an application very, very easily. There is also called Open UI. Right? I'll put all of these links. Use anything, Streamlit, Chainlit, Open UI, Open Web UI. All of them help you create a chat application, something that looks like ChatGPT in 5 minutes. Right? All you have to do is put in a system prompt, write a few lines of code, and you're done. So next time, all of you, demo me your favorite personalities. Right?
The personality's answer should come audio, or
No, just text is fine. But it should look as though it's written by that person.
that's
I
very
remember
typical,
that,
right? You always see politician saying something, you don't read their speeches, or
Yeah.
So it's very.
You can just, I'll let you figure it out how you'll do it. But usually these LLMs, right, they have pretty vast memory. They know who these personalities
Okay.
are. One of the very simple system prompts somebody wrote was very interesting. He recreated Hanuman from the Indian mythology. Right? So whatever question you would answer, you would ask, it should always answer in terms of that. So people do very creative things, and I'm just giving this to you as an exercise. Just a basic exercise. Do a system prompt that can do that for you. All right. So now we know what system prompts are, isn't it? Any questions, guys?
The prompt is available only with which version of ChatGPT? Is it the playground or?
No. For the time being, just use your whatever. Just go to your account and just say my prompts, like my GPT. Create your own GPT. But I'm asking you to do it programmatically.
I think we need to be a premium user for that.
Yeah.
I'm giving.
So guys, let me walk you through the steps. What you will do are, so now that I've given a concrete project, by the way, it's an easy project, guys. So I'll explain what you will do. Let me use a color, a homework. So guys, this is short enough that please try to do it tonight, tomorrow, or something, and start posting it to people. Homework prompts on prompts. What you do is, you will learn to use, at this moment, just for the time being, use Open AI API in Python. It's very, very easy. Let me just put it this way, 5-minute learning curve. 5 minutes. Learning curve. B, write a detailed system prompt for the personality of your choice. C, create a chat interface for it using Chainlit, Streamlit, or OpenWeb UI. OpenWeb UI was created, by the way, by Olama, right? And D, make sure to follow the co-star framework discussed in the Saturday session. So we are going to discuss that now. This is your homework, guys, right? And if possible, while you guys can do it as a team, like as a team basis, it is something you can do as a team very quickly. If you are more highly motivated, do it individually, right? Now, let me walk you through how you'll do this. Let me bring something over. You go to OpenAI API. If you go there, simple, quick start. Oh, do you notice this 4 lines? Right? But we would prefer the Python version. So first you'll need an OpenAI key. For this exercise, don't sweat over it. The amount of money that you'll end up spending will be pennies. Right? Don't worry about that. Look at the Python. How would you install it? Pip install OpenAI. And this is the only code that you will write. This is it. Do you see? So so would you agree that 5 minutes a learning curve is a bit of an overkill? You can learn it in just staring at this code. Right? Let's think through it. Line number 1, is it self-explanatory? We are importing the object OpenAI. We're instantiating it, instantiating the client. Then second line, this is the third line. This is all that matters. Client.chat. Now, do you notice that it uses the word completions? Why do you think it uses the word completions? Where is it coming from? Remember, I told you that the more formal name for outputs used to be completions. Completions. Create. So you'll use a model. Oh, by the way, don't use 4.0 mini, use 4.0. Right? You won't spend too much money. Just don't use mini, use 4.0. Now, observe that this carefully. Guys, do you notice that if you look at this code, role system, content this, role user, content this. What is it telling? What is it talking about? System prompt and the user prompt. So guys, do you see how obvious and easy it is? Simple. And then from there, you can get the message here. This is it. So, right now,
Content is the user prompt, is it?
come again.
Content is the user prompt.
Yeah. Here the content is the user prompt.
Okay.
And here the content is the system prompt. So in your case, what will happen is you will let the user enter something.
Okay.
Whatever the user enters, you'll feed it into the user.
Okay.
And the system prompt is what you will read from your text, right? And then, so guys, any one of you feel that this is hard? No, this is easy, right? We can do that. The next thing we do is we go to another one, a chain. Chainlet overview. So, by the way, these are all very well-respected projects. If you go to GitHub, do you notice that there are thousands of stars to it? It's because they're doing something right. They're getting they help you create a UI very fast. OpenAI, learn how to explore your OpenAI calls in Chainlet. Right? Just go there. And this is your code, right? The application logic, literally. So do you see, guys, how easy it will be? So use this. There is also Open Web UI, Olama. Open Web UI. So these days, Open Web UI is being preferred. Yeah, you can do it with any. Yeah, you can do it with any of them. So you can create. So you can use OpenAI, whatever. ChatGPT. Yeah. So basically, it all looks like ChatGPT. Yes, absolutely right. And the basic thing is that you can get this running in a few lines of code. Isn't that nice? Right. So there you go. So pick your favorite. Pick your favorite. Or if you're adventurous, write it in Streamlit. That wouldn't be hard, right? And all you're doing is giving an input box and producing the output. So use one of these. So now does this project look easy, guys? Write a detailed system prompt. All you're doing is writing a detailed system prompt. So now we will get to the task at hand. How do we write a good prompt? Because we clearly saw that between a naive prompt and a good prompt, there's a world of difference, isn't it? So guys, one thing you should, frame of reference you should have in mind. Think of a LLM as 1,000 PhDs, right? Think of it as super intelligent. People keep asking, when will these LLMs achieve super intelligence? Go with the assumption that they already have. You just have to ask it questions the right way. That will be a helpful, like a effective point of view to take when you are working with LLMs, when you are prompting. So if it doesn't give you the answer that you expect, look in the mirror, it's your fault, right? Not the LLM's fault generally. And so what it means is, and also take prompting very seriously, develop muscles with it, become good at it. How do you become good at it is what we'll come to. But now I will take you through one of the simpler frameworks that we have in the, where is the course portal gone? Let me go to the course portal. So I'm here, CoStar Framework for Prompting. So this title, this is an article in Medium, and I've also given the PDF version. This is a young person. You see that somebody is getting a prize here. She is the author of this article.
Paid subscription to read that?
Medium. Yeah, Medium needs a paid subscription, but I have also given a PDF download of it. I've added it to the page. So if you go here, you'll notice that the second link is just the PDF. It doesn't look as pretty, but you know, if you don't want to pay for Medium. Though theoretically, I must also say that these days, if you're in the technical field, why in the world would you not have a Medium? Instead of wasting money on some general newspaper, it's best to read things from there. I mean, not all articles are good. A lot of junk is there, but for sometimes good things also show up. So how I won Singapore's GPT-4 prompt engineering competition. So how did she win? She used structured prompting using CoStar. And these are her key milestones. We will go through all of them. Structured promptings using. So your framework must have these 6 sections. Are we together? Minimum. But then there's also, you should have guardrails, and you should also have what I put there, role. Start with a role. Are we together? Start with a, here's how it works. context. This, so see, if you want to make it into a slogan, right? Here it is. Role, goal, backstory. That is the very minimum. That is sort of the slogan that these crew AI people, agentic frameworks use. Role, goal, backstory. But more than that, let's do it the full way. So what is missing here is what I start with is role. If you look at my prompts, I first start with role. Then I give the context. Then I give the objective, the style. In the prompt that I was taking you through that I wrote, did you notice me saying the style? In what form? What style should you say? Tone? Did I speak to the audience? Who is at the receiving end of it? Are these kids? So, for example, if I have to explain the theory of relativity, general relativity, to 10-year-olds, how would I explain that versus explaining it to theoretical physicists or people with at least a master's in physics? The whole thing would be different, isn't it? To a child, I would just take a membrane and then put a marble on top of it and say, look, there's a depression. Space-time bends like that. To a theoretical physicist, I would say, okay, first let's start with the Riemann tensor, curvature, Riemann curvature, and so forth. So you would think differently. It matters. Your tone, your audience matters. And response, how do you want your response? So today we'll do the co-star and I will tell you something about the response. Now here, I told you how the response should be. You can be much more structured in your response. You can say, I want my response as Jason. I want my response as this, or I want my response as that, right? So how it works, context provides background information on the task. Objective, what is it that you wanted to do? Style, the writing style. So for example, by the way, you could say like, make it humorous, make it hilarious, make it this, make it that, make it sarcastic. Actually, something very interesting I saw. Somebody posted this meme. So one guy said, I don't know how true it is, so because these things keep floating on. One guy got the bright idea of saying that, take the role of being my girlfriend. You have to dump me. Using everything you know about me. Right? Write me a breakup letter, email. And the LLM said, okay, you want that, I'll give you that. Right? And it wrote such a such a biting criticism of the person. I'm told the person had to go into therapy. Or I don't know, it must be a joke. But I read that.
It is true, Asif. It is true.
It's
Actually,
true. It's true.
Yeah, it is
okay.
true.
Yeah. So that is it. So if you think about it, that guy did perfect prompting, isn't it? Right. Well, if you can stand up to that kind of a breakup letter, I suppose it will strengthen you to stand up to anything. Your boss firing you at work shouldn't look like a big deal. So anyway, style, tone, audience, identify the response. So guys, response is important. Do you want it as Jason and so forth? Response is a big thing. It opens the door to our next topic, namely the instructor framework. We'll get to that. So here is a practical application. Let's take a real world example she talks about. Here's a real world example of why the co-star framework. Let's say you work as a social media manager and you need help drafting a Facebook post to advertise your company's new product. A quick prompt might look something like this. Write a Facebook post to advertise my company's new product. My company's name is Alpha and the product is Beta. A new ultra-fast hair dryer. Right? So it will say, here's the output from the GPT-4 in those days. Introducing the revolutionary Beta hair dryer by Alpha. Say goodbye to long, tedious hair drying sessions. Alpha is proud to unveil Beta, latest innovation in blah, ultra fast, blah, blah, blah. Get ready, shop now, and then a link. If you think about it from a product marketing perspective, this is supposed to be good. It has all the necessary ingredients. Yet, what would you say about something like this? If you received that in your email, what would be your first response?
Throw it.
Delete. Ignore or delete, right? So while adequate, this output is painfully generic, lacking the specific nuances and targeted appeal necessary to resonate with your company's audience. So here, we will now follow the CoStar template. Context. I want to advertise my company's new product. My company's name is Alpha and the product is called Beta, which is a new ultra-fast hairdryer. Objective. Create a Facebook post for me, which aims to get people to click on the product link to purchase it. So see, you're not just saying create a post. What is the goal of any writing? Every writing is a persuasion, so, which aims to get people to click on the product link to purchase it. Style, follow the writing style of successful companies that advertise similar products, such as Dyson. I thought Dyson makes vacuum cleaners.
Hair dryers also.
Oh, hair dryers also. Okay.
Yeah.
Very expensive ones. Yeah. Okay. Tone, persuasive. Audience. My company's audience profile on Facebook is typically the older generation. Tailor your post to target what this audience typically looks out for in hair products. So do you see, guys, it's very clear. It's doing a market segmentation. You're saying target this market. That is giving information to the LLM, right? And do you see after reading this, why the previous response was generic? You had no idea who you were targeting, isn't it? What was the goal? You just say, write me a post. It wrote to you the most likely post possible. Now this, you get a different response. By applying significantly more targeted and effective. Let's see. So we are all people, many of us are in our, well, we wouldn't call it the older generation. Would you say some of us are the older generation? Well, most of you are younger than me, but I'll make you honorary members of the older generation for some time. Right. So here we go. Embrace effortless elegance with Alpha Beta, the ultra fast hair drying for the wise generation. You suddenly feel good. Right? Okay. Rediscover the joy of simple, effective hair care product with Alpha Beta. Our latest innovation is more than just a hair dryer. It's a promise of swift, gentle, and reliable hair styling for those who appreciate the finer things of life. You can imagine the retired crowd sitting with their little wine glasses, appreciating the finer things of life and saying, yeah. So easy and intuitive use, say goodbye to complicated gadgets. So ease of use matters to older generation, isn't it? Particularly because they're befuddled. Like people like me are always trying to make head and tail out of the electronics. So Alpha Beta is crafted for comfort and simplicity, perfect for those who value straightforward, hassle-free technology. Do you notice that it completely adapts to the persona of older people, right? Time-saving technology. We understand your time is precious. That's why Alpha Beta cuts down drying time significantly, giving you more moments to enjoy life's pleasures. Make every day a good hair day with Alpha Beta. Experience the blend of sophistication and simplicity today. How many of you are sold? Okay. The CoStar framework, guys. So by now, I hope you are convinced that prompting is not just writing English, right? And this is the tip of the iceberg. I haven't even started to help you crawl. It's a big topic. So first thing is use delimiters. These machines understand delimiters. They understand section headings, anything that looks like a delimiter, right? Use it. This is it. Do you notice the use of delimiter? Also, the other thing that I would say is good idea. Delimiters as XML tags. They understand XML tags. If you want to give. Also, okay, that brings me to one more topic. It is the next one of the topics I'll cover in prompting, time permitting, is few shot prompting. One of the most effective discoveries in prompting was that when you write your system prompt, give a few examples of how it should answer. If you give it examples, it is being specific. Are we together? Right. give examples. To give examples is called few shot, right? In context learn. It learns from those examples. Well, this is not. Create a prompt with guards. This is very, very important. You want to put safeguards. Did you see guardrails in an example of the geyser? Right? You must have a guardrail section. Very, very important to have guardrails. It is an extra thing, right? So let's look back at the PDF. Where are the guardrails? I usually put it right after the response format. Let's see. And now you look at my thing. Does it look like the co-staff using the co-staff? It's with variation. I insist on first starting with role and then the context, right? And then style, tone, audience, response format, guardrails. Is it now all making sense, guys? So if you follow, see, one of the things you should do is you don't want to think everything from scratch. If you have a template in your mind, pick a good template. You don't like Costa, go pick another template. But when you pick a good template like this, especially choose something proven, you know, people have spent a lot of time on this. Pick one of those frameworks or templates over which people have really spent a lot of time building. Then what happens is results come fast. You quickly move ahead. It becomes a checklist. Did I put this? Did I put that? And you move forward with that. Then it is showing you how in GPT-4 you could do custom instructions. Nowadays it's called custom GPT, how you can create. Remember we just saw, right? You could create your custom GPT system prompt. The rest of it you can ignore. So I won't go into the rest of the article. It just shows an example of data analysis and so forth. Which it does a very good job of. So may I recommend that I'm going to give you guys half an hour. Read this article and read the Old Faithful Geyser PDF. Is that fair, guys? Take out time. Because after that, the next thing I'll teach you is the instructor framework. Singapore government.
Asif? The document that you shared early in the day, which is the prompt guide.ai. Sorry. Yeah.
And that you cover in the rest of the week. Every
Okay.
single
Sure.
every single section of it.
Because there, in fact, I yesterday
Yeah.
I bookmarked it.
Yes.
Notice it's a right.
Is
you
the
know.
right one, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Question is, there are almost like 15 to 16, different techniques of doing the prompt, right? So are we
Context-
going to go through all of them, or
I am, well, today, since you guys have all agreed to be here till 9 p.m., we'll go through. Guys, I'm not kidding. I'll keep on introducing you techniques till the room is empty.
Okay.
So no, seriously, see, guys, here's the thing. This course, as I said, right? Do you realize that every week we are introducing a major theme? Last week was RAG. Today is prompt. We'll move on to the next topic. Right? We won't get time. So the more we can spend and give to prompts today, the better. And then, of course, every of this topic looks odd, but every of the topic is a full-blown course. Right? I am teaching tomorrow. Guess what I'm teaching in the morning, the whole day tomorrow. Literally advanced prompting techniques. It's a 2-month course. That is what is going on there. Right? So first pick up everything, guys. Then in this course, pick up all the major themes so that you become productive. You can do your work, your project. Then decide what matters to you. And then you can always come back either here or somewhere else and do those things in greater depth. So guys, half an hour is 3:11. Should we meet at 3:45? Well, please read this article carefully. Don't just, roam around. It is worth reading it carefully. Do that. It's an old article now. Things have moved further. But and then please read my document.
The The other one is in our portal.
Everything is in the portal,
This one I
guys.
know.
Please,
This
so
one.
please help me this. Please confirm that all of you
Yeah,
are seeing
seeing
this
this one.
page as
Yes,
it
yes.
is. Right? Go to this page. If you have Medium account, click on the first link. If you don't have, click on the second link, because the second link will just download this PDF for you. See?
Okay.
The same thing. Do you see that how I want? It is there as a PDF. You can read the PDF.
Okay.
Right. And prompting guide. So guys, here's the thing. Prompting guide is what you will study during the week. Please do that as much as you can. Otherwise, come and register with me. By the way, so here's something I must tell you. What you learn in prompting guide is the beginning of learning how to prompt. So don't feel comfortable that, oh, I did every section of the prompting guide. Now I'm a guru. Unfortunately, you just got your elementary school graduation certificate. The subject is big and vast. Surprising, like people trivialize the subject. It's big and vast. And then read this clustering the old faithful guys. Right. So half an hour to do these two. Co-star framework and old faithful guys. Please read it. We have covered it, but please review it and we'll meet in half an hour. Yes. We have a lot to cover.